Assault investigation lands one of the members of Pawn Stars in trouble. Austin Russell, better known as Chumlee, is in jail tonight. Drugs, a gun, a search of a home, and that could be just the beginning of troubles for one of the guys from Pawn Stars.
Austin Lee Russell, better known to the world as Chumlee from Pawn Stars, was arrested in Las Vegas. And the charges weren't minor. On the surface, it seemed like a shocking turn of events: weapons, drugs, and suspected theft. But as investigators peeled back the layers, the story began to unravel into something far more disturbing. The arrest didn't just rattle fans, it sent shockwaves through the tight-knit Pawn Stars community and raised uncomfortable questions about what had been happening behind the scenes of the reality show juggernaut. It all started with a police raid. Authorities arrived at Chumlee's home with a search warrant tied to an investigation into a sexual assault claim. But once inside the residence, what they found caught everyone by surprise. Detectives recovered multiple firearms, some registered, others not. Alongside them, large amounts of marijuana, methamphetamine, and what appeared to be clear evidence of narcotics distribution. One officer described the scene as an arsenal mixed with a dispensary, adding that it was not what we expected when we knocked on the door. But it didn't stop there. In a locked room, law enforcement allegedly discovered several high-value items reported stolen, including luxury timepieces and collectible memorabilia, thought to be linked to open theft cases. With each item logged into evidence, the legal noose around Chumlee tightened. While the charges of drug possession and illegal weapons were enough to send his name trending across every major news outlet, the rumored theft allegations added fuel to an already blazing fire. Law enforcement didn't confirm the origin of the stolen property publicly, but insiders close to the Las Vegas Metro Police hinted at ongoing cross-checks with pawned items and reported losses. The speculation that Chumlee may have used his position at the gold and silver pawn shop to launder or move stolen goods sent the fanbase into a frenzy. Was this the fall of a funny, lovable sidekick, or had Chumlee been hiding something darker all along? Back at the shop, reactions were swift but guarded. Rick Harrison issued a carefully worded statement, distancing the business from Chumlee's legal troubles while expressing hope for a fair investigation. "We're aware of the situation and are cooperating with authorities," he said. "We just want what's best for everyone involved." Corey Harrison, Chumlee's longtime friend and co-star, posted cryptically on Instagram, "Don't believe everything you hear." It was a message of loyalty, but also one of uncertainty. As legal proceedings moved forward, the court documents became public. The weapons charges included possession of firearms by a prohibited person, while the drug counts ranged from possession to intent to distribute. If convicted on all counts, Chumlee faced years behind bars. For viewers who watched him grow from comic relief to fan favorite, it felt like watching a house of cards collapse in real time. The lovable goofball from Pawn Stars was no longer laughing, and neither was anyone else. News of Chumlee's arrest had already rocked the core of Pawn Stars, but what came next sent tremors no one saw coming. Corey Harrison, Chumlee's closest friend on the show, and practically a brother, had reportedly agreed to testify against him. For fans who'd grown up watching their brotherly dynamic unfold on screen, the development felt like betrayal wrapped in heartbreak, according to sources close to the investigation. Corey was subpoenaed to provide testimony about Chumlee's conduct behind the scenes, specifically whether his access to shop inventory or insider knowledge could have been used to aid in alleged thefts or illegal trades. While Corey initially tried to stay out of the media circus, insiders claim he eventually decided to cooperate under pressure, citing loyalty to the truth and to the family business. Corey didn't want to speak out, but the evidence was piling up, said one insider. And when it came down to protecting the shop or protecting Chumlee, the choice became painful but clear. Rick Harrison, the family patriarch and owner of the shop, has remained measured in his public comments. "It's a difficult time for everyone involved," he told local reporters. "We're cooperating fully with authorities. Our priority is protecting our family and our business." Behind the scenes, however, tensions are said to be boiling. Corey, who once defended Chumlee during past controversies, is now being described as disillusioned and betrayed, particularly after learning the extent of what police discovered in Chumlee's home: unregistered firearms, narcotics, and stolen goods. What disturbed Corey the most, according to those close to him, was the realization that Chumlee may have been hiding a double life right under their noses. "He feels like a fool," the source added. "They joked together, worked side by side for years." Corey trusted him. And now he's being asked whether that trust was used against him and the shop. While it's not yet known what Corey's exact testimony will include, prosecutors are reportedly focusing on internal shop policies, access logs, and any red flags that may have been overlooked. Corey's testimony could prove crucial not just in confirming timelines and asset access, but in shaping how much the court believes Chumlee acted alone or within a trusted environment that enabled his actions. Fans have taken to social media to express their disbelief. Posts reading Team Chumlee now clash with others, proclaiming Corey did the right thing. The Pawn Stars fandom is split, as is the cast behind the scenes. The once unbreakable trio of Rick, Corey, and Chumlee now feels fractured beyond repair. As the legal storm intensifies, one thing is clear: the reality show that made history by turning everyday deals into entertainment has now become a courtroom drama of its own. And this time, there's no script, no edits, and no laughter, just a painful reckoning. After months of investigation, mounting evidence, and failed attempts at damage control, prosecutors have confirmed what fans feared. Chumlee is expected to receive a minimum 20-year prison sentence, and if that wasn't enough, authorities have already begun the process of seizing nearly all of his assets: cars, cash, memorabilia, and even the Las Vegas home where it all came crashing down. Court documents released this week detail the full scope of what Chumlee is being charged with: multiple counts of felony weapons possession, narcotics trafficking, and alleged involvement in organized theft. Prosecutors argue that his lifestyle wasn't just reckless, it was criminally calculated. The home raid in early March had uncovered more than just drug paraphernalia and unregistered firearms. Investigators found safes filled with luxury watches, artwork with falsified provenance, and an entire closet packed with collectible items reportedly linked to open theft cases. What police once called concerning has now become conclusive, based on the volume and type of evidence recovered, and Chumlee's unwillingness to cooperate. We are pursuing the maximum sentencing guidelines, the district attorney's office confirmed in a press release. That begins at 20 years, with the potential for more if new charges emerge. Sources close to the case say there's talk of plea deals, but the prosecution is under intense public and political pressure to make an example of Chumlee. Once considered harmless comic relief, now viewed as a high-profile cautionary tale. And then there's the property seizure. Acting under Nevada's asset forfeiture laws, state officials wasted no time freezing Chumlee's bank accounts, impounding his custom car collection, and placing liens on every piece of real estate he owns. His prized memorabilia items that once lined his home studio and were featured on television are now in evidence lockup, pending review. According to insiders, several of the confiscated items may have been stolen or fraudulently acquired, putting them at the center of multiple open investigations. Even his famed Chumlee brand merchandise has come under scrutiny for possible financial irregularities. The fall has been swift and brutal. Just months ago, Chumlee was filming new episodes of Pawn Stars, joking with customers, and cashing in on his fame. Now he stands as a man stripped of his wealth, his freedom, and his identity. Even longtime friends like Corey Harrison have reportedly gone silent, choosing to distance themselves from the growing legal chaos. Outside the courthouse, fans gathered holding signs, some showing support, others demanding accountability. The sentiment is clear: this is more than a celebrity scandal. It's the collapse of a persona millions thought they knew. And as Chumlee awaits the final decision, one thing is certain: his days of reality TV stardom are over, and the reality he now faces is far darker, far colder, and likely to last decades. The doors to the gold and silver pawn shop still open every morning. Tourists still walk in, cameras ready, hoping to catch a glimpse of Rick or Corey, but one face is now permanently absent. One voice forever silenced in the hallways that once echoed with laughter. Austin "Chumlee" Russell, the fan favorite turned convicted felon, will never return to Pawn Stars. Not for a cameo, not for a reunion, not even for a goodbye. What was once an unbreakable brotherhood now exists with a gaping void behind closed doors. The remaining cast and crew have made one thing clear: they're ready to move on, and they're trying to forget him. Chumlee's fall from grace wasn't just a PR disaster, it was a betrayal of everything the show built its reputation on. From quirky historical finds to wholesome banter between co-workers, Pawn Stars sold itself as lighthearted entertainment. But after Chumlee's arrest on serious drug and weapons charges, and the subsequent uncovering of stolen memorabilia and illicit activity, any hope of rehabilitation within the brand vanished. Producers were quick to erase his presence from upcoming episodes, cutting old clips, shelving merchandise, and instructing editors to remove any trace of the scandalized star. Rick Harrison, the face of the operation, has kept his statements cold and professional. "We're focused on the future," he told one outlet, when asked about Chumlee's possible return. "The show must go on. That's all I'll say." But insiders paint a clearer picture. Rick is furious. Corey, once Chumlee's closest friend, reportedly hasn't spoken to him since testifying in court. Even the production crew, many of whom shared years on the road filming episodes and promotional events, have gone radio silent. "He embarrassed everyone," said one staff member, anonymously. "It wasn't just what he did, it's how he did it. We all feel tricked. Like he played dumb on camera but was hiding something way darker off screen." Since his conviction, every effort has been made to distance the show from his name. Tour guides at the shop are reportedly told not to mention him. Official Pawn Stars social media pages deleted dozens of past posts that featured Chumlee. Even the show's official website removed his biography, replacing it with promotional material about new cast additions and spin-off projects. It's a quiet but unmistakable erasure, digital burial of someone once adored. And the fans? Divided. Some still leave messages of support for Chumlee on archived clips, but many have accepted the truth. "He made his choices," one longtime viewer posted. "He's not who we thought he was. There won't be a comeback. There won't be a redemption arc. No special episode, no apology tour." In the sanitized, restructured world of Pawn Stars, Chumlee's name is now taboo. For those who knew him, the silence says everything. For those still watching, the laughter may continue, but the man behind it has been written out of the script, erased from the story, and locked away in a past no one wants to revisit.